So here I am in my car. This is the beginning, the very beginning. This is day one of this project. And I'm calling this project The Floater's Awakening. And this is me after my first float, the first one of what will be many more, because I have an unlimited membership, thanks to Teresa from Float Masters International. And they're producing this series of mental meanderings. It's like a download of everything that happens while I'm floating, all the thoughts that come into my mind, the ideas, and I'm capturing them, I'm recording them. And this is the first thing that came to me in tonight's float, to record it like a project. And the promise I made myself is that I'm actually going to do it. So to do it means press record. And I'm in my car, in my driveway. I can't even go inside, because as soon as I go inside, it's a game changer. It's Friday night. It's 10:57. And you know, life's going to take over. I'm going to be hungry. I'm going to eat, and I'll get distracted, and then I'll want to put makeup on, and then I'll wonder about what wall I'm supposed to stand in front of, and if there's supposed to be artwork behind me, right? Like, I'll get into all these other questions I don't want to answer. I just want to be here in the moment and talk about this project, because I'm so freaking jacked. I'm so jacked. And the ideas that come to you, there's so much clarity when you float, when you let go, when you relax, when you just release into the water. And yeah, so that's where the name came from. The name of this project, whatever it's going to be, however it's going to reach you, whether, you know, it's a podcast or a YouTube channel. I don't even know yet, because that part of the clarity hasn't come. But by the end of this month, I will have a clear direction on the path of my life, because that's what's happening right now. The gift, meeting Teresa through Marissa through Rachel through Miles, and from the 90s. So why we have the friendships that we have, and the things they introduce us to, the doors they open, you never know at the time what it means. But meeting Teresa and her passion for floating, just her appetite for it, it's man, I've not met anyone like that with such a strong passion. And so this is an exercise in providing content. So I met the owner of Float Seattle, Sean McCormick, maybe 3.5 years ago. I was working for Eben at United Creations, and there was this thing called floating, and he was doing it. And so I went and got myself a first-timer's pass, and they introduce you to it like they do. You know, these are the tanks, and you get in. And I had a vague nervousness around claustrophobia and what it would feel like to close the tank door. But the thing is I was in water. Oh, low battery mode, 20% left. Okay, hopefully that's not going to affect the video. You know, as soon as you get in the water, it surrounds you, it envelopes you, and it's the same temperature as your body. So you lose a sense of feeling of where you end and the tank begins, the water. You're suspended. Your body is perfectly weightless, and your body is aligned. The water is meeting. You are exactly at your equilibrium when you're floating in the water. Your body is held like at no other time. There's no surface you can sit on or mattress you could lay on that holds your structure in the same way as floating. That kind of comfort is, man, I mean, I guess when we're in utero, do we feel that? Is that the bliss? I don't know, man. I fucking dig it. So here we are. on this unlimited membership that Teresa has purchased for me as a surprise today. I found out about this today. And all the other ventures that happened today. Meeting Lucy and going to this Fifth Avenue rummage sale, not knowing what we were going to find all out in Kent, and walking in this huge warehouse and thinking about costumes, and even Rachel wanted in on it. And if I saw anything Gatsby oriented, Flapper era. Lucy was looking for pirates for taking the Area 54 ship up onto the bridge, the Aurora Bridge, for the Seattle Arts and Culture event. And everyone had their different lens for what they were looking for, but none of those things were found. None of the things we were looking for, of course, but some other treasures, little things. And that was a great day. And today was the most amazing day that Sarah and Howard found a house. I mean, I don't know what day it's going to be in the world when this recording, if it's ever published, this crazy notion that I have. But today was this other magical day that one of my best friends called me up and told me that today their dream that they only dreamed of coming true maybe 10 years from now came true today. I don't even want to go into the details because it's their story to tell, but she was crying telling me, I was crying hearing about it. What a magical fucking day it is. August 3rd, 2018. And yeah, I can't wait to see where this journey takes me, of executing what I thought of. The idea that I thought of while floating is something that I have to execute. This is my challenge. This is what I'm going to do for August. And if I could just clear my schedule and float and do the things that come up in the float and then tell you about them and record it after every float session, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, I think I started to tell you about my first time and closing the eyes and letting go. They just get better. You drop in deeper, you drop in faster, and whatever that takes. Teresa's techniques are all about stretching, which lead to dancing. And if she's floating for 2 hours or 3 hours, she'll spend the first whatever segment 20% of the time getting her dance on, being in her flow. I don't know, maybe it's 50% of her time. I don't know. She calls it flowing, her dance movement. But those are her stories. I'm sure those are going to be told. But I think about movement. I thought about movement more tonight than I have in the past. And yeah. Oh, and I had this conspiracy theory concept come into my brain. And someone I knew quite some time ago from Seattle moved away after she met a man and they got married. And I haven't seen them in years. In fact, 8 years ago at my 10-year anniversary party in Vegas. And that's when I met her husband. And he friendshipped me on Facebook. He friendshipped me. Sounds like, oh, he sent me a friend request. And sure, okay. And next thing you know, he's sending me messages and asking me about PCH. Do I know what that is? And so I actually Googled it, and it's Publisher Clearinghouse was one use of the acronym, and it seemed to be the most common. So I wrote back and I said, is this what you mean? Because I have nothing to do with them. I don't know why my name would be on a list. And he's like, oh yeah, they gave me $50,000 and your name's on a list. So I wanted to reach out and see if you got it too. I thought, well, that's fucking bananas. There's no way that's true. So I write to his partner. And I say, hey girl, what's up with this, man? What's up with his relationship with PCH? I don't get it. And I said, has he been hacked? Is this for real? And she said, yeah, he's changed his password, so I don't know. And so I quickly blocked him and backed out of the messages. And that was days ago. And I thought about it in float. And it's like, so companies, big corporations, are paying people to hack these messages. So, right? I mean, why else? But it seems to me that it's first-person research. It's market research. They know, what race I am, what gender I am, roughly what age I am, or exactly what age I am. And they know if I knew what the acronym stood for. They don't know that I Googled it, but they knew what I thought about it. Like, oh no, not for me, and backed out of it. But primary research. So I wonder how many hits that went out. And it's kind of a fucked up thought. Like, as opposed to it just being a random, isolated, that was weird, but to actually have meaning and attached to something. And I don't think I would have thought about that if I hadn't watched a documentary clip about the Russians who trolls, is that what they call them? Who created fake profiles to get into people's social media conversations and skew conversations to be either pro-Trump or pro-Republican or whatever. And just the notion that happened, like, that's real. Like, someone didn't, it's not just a made up thing. And then you think about the episodes in Black Mirror and what they stand for and who writes them. And there's shreds of reality in there. Dude, that psychopath who recorded people like masturbating to shitty porn and then having them battle each other to the death. Like, fuck. That's fucked up. And yet somebody thought of it, didn't just thought about it, but recorded a show about it. And then we all watched it and now we're talking about it. And so shit's possible, man. Shit's possible. Whatever. People can dream up. It can happen. And so let's dream up good things, people. Let's dream up big, beautiful, magical, oneness, kind of living in community and sharing our gifts with each other, following the 10 principles of Burning Man, and make the default world the reality we want it to be. I mean, I get that every day isn't a festival. We have work and we have problems and we're going to vent. And that's just what's going to happen. Because it's the human experience. And what was I just watching about or listening to? You can't be happy every day because there's barometer. It's like the Truman Show. I just thought of that. But like, everybody around him in the show was supposed to just be happy and positive. And it was like, how could you keep that idyllic life where there is no crime and nobody steals from each other? And you couldn't even say swear words or something. I don't know. I can't remember all the rules, but somewhere in there is that idea about that happy lifestyle, because that's too fake. So there's feel the feelings, all of them, the fear, the anger, the pain, all the stuff that comes up. But there's more, and there's more that's possible that we're not doing, that, well, sometimes we do, but tapping into it more often, and what that can mean if more people show up to have that deeper conversation. Okay, it's a plug for Authentic Relating, man. It's a total plug for Art International. Google it. Authentic Relating Training. Out of Boulder and now Bali. Producing 5 Pacific Northwest trainings coming up. Again, I have no idea when this recording is going to go live, if or ever, but September 22nd weekend in Victoria and September 29th weekend in Portland, and then in October 13th, 14th in Victoria, and 22nd, 21st weekend in Vancouver, BC. And then coming back to Seattle for level 2 training, September 17th, 18th weekend. My birthday. That'll be fun. Showing up. Let's show up for this conversation. I'm going to show up after every float this month, and I'm going to record what went down, just like I have. And I think it's sitting in my car, because if I have plans after whatever I'm doing that day, then by the time I get home, I'm not going to have the same bottled energy for it. It won't be as clear. More stuff will have happened. You know, life would have happened, and other people conversations would have happened, and so it's going to be raw like this with my wet hair and my eye makeup washed off. It's just going to be what it is, and we're going to have this conversation. I'm going to share what came out of it, and that's it for tonight. I'll look forward to sharing more with you after my next float. Ta-ta for now.